I wish we had a
there we go.
podcast. Oh my god, I wish we had
I mean,
a podcast.
I just started recording, so we can have a.
Justin, what the fuck are you talking about, your Gmod Tower? Tower Unite.
You open the door.
Oh my god, wait. You guys remember the book The Giver?
I remember that.
So,
Yeah, it was that bitch Lois Lowry who made that fucking
weird
shit
fucking
book.
that book. First of all, I hated that book. I hated everything about it.
The dystopian future that was pretty
Was that
fucking...
like where they had to bathe the old people or something?
Yeah,
they did have
so
to bathe the old
that's the one where like the Giver has memories of this weird fucking cult society. He's like, yeah, I have the memories before everyone was like a bunch of Nazis, and like Jonah, whatever the fuck the boy's name was, he was the receiver. So he has to take the old man's load for the memories. And it literally involved, alright, take your shirt off and get on his
during the story, but
touch your back.
I don't know.
He had to get on a bed, take his shirt off, and this old crusty man would put his hands on this little boy's back. And we're all just like, wow, this is just a great book, this is genius.
Also, they had to take, I remember they had to take their medication for like, so that they wouldn't get horny. You remember that, like for the stirrings?
I don't even fucking remember that. I remember they would kill people by releasing them. Alex, you can't participate in this conversation when your mic is like that.
So for a project that I guess Gabby did for that book, because Gabby's like a really good artist, and she was even back then. So she actually like drew the scene where the kid's like shirtless on a bed and the old man's touching his back, and so. When you present that to a class, how am I not gonna laugh? like, what the fuck? So this was 6th grade, and I think it was me and Frankie. Me and Frankie start fucking laughing our asses off at this because she drew a shirtless kid getting his back molested. And 6th grade me is gonna laugh my fucking ass off.
What book was this?
The Giver.
The Giver, dude. The Giver.
I've never heard of this book.
Rundown, because Jimmy really went through the story. It's a dystopian future. It's like some weird society. They don't have memories. They don't have color. It's very weird. Needless to say, one of the jobs is the receiver of memories. It's one dude who has all the memories of outside life, and he holds on to them. And every so often, they hire a new person, and they have to take the memories from that guy and ship it to the next guy. That's where this kid Jonas comes in. He becomes the new receiver of knowledge. And the way to receive the memories is the old man puts his hands on the kid's bare back while he's laying down, and he just fucking transports memories. It's really fucking weird.
Yeah, it's just weird, right? And Gabby drew that scene. She drew it with his hands on his back, and Frankie starts laughing. He looks at him and goes, "Go to the office right now." and then so that makes me laugh harder. I'm like, then she sends me to the office, and me and Frankie are, the thing is too, like, going to the office didn't suck at all. You just sat there. Like, if they gave you work, if they gave you work, it sucked because you had to sit there and do work. But most of the time, you just got to sit in the office. If anything, the teacher is hindering the student.
Yeah, dude.
Like, you're missing out on learning. I'm just sitting in the office dicking around because the secretary doesn't give a shit.
I remember one time there was too many of us in the office and they didn't have enough seats, so somebody got the swirly chair, and that was like the best fucking time for them.
Yeah, I was like, when they sent me to the office, I was like, dude, like, this is great. Like, why would I be upset? Me and Frankie enjoyed it. We were like, this was totally worth it. I'd laugh at that photo again.
At the end of the Giver, doesn't he steal a baby and sled away?
Yeah, that's the end of the book.
But they
then
like
they find but they find the house.
Yeah, then that's the ending. Like, they find a house and you don't know if they make it or not.
They all like
because of the fucking 2nd book.
There is.
Oh my god.
What are they? Are you serious?
I hope.
Serious. That's what I said before I got
Yeah.
rudely shoved out of this conversation.
Because you don't have a blue yet.
Now I can hear your mic, though.
Our teacher would have gave us assignment like, what happens after the Giver? I was
Yeah.
like,
The exact same assignment.
The
The
same thing.
She told us to write a little short, I guess, like,
Dude,
epilogue.
I can tell you what I wrote. I wrote in my epilogue, and then they got up to the house, and then they became like the family inside adopted them, and then back in the society, I literally wrote that the old Giver fucking killed himself.
What? No, you didn't.
I wrote. Okay, you know what I wrote? I wrote that he was sitting in a chair with a needle in his hand, and like the head lady screamed, he released himself.
What the fuck?
No, you didn't.
No,
you
I'm
didn't.
dead. I'm dead serious.
No,
if
you
I
didn't.
dude, if it's on the old computer downstairs tomorrow morning, I will search for that fucking story.
Please do. I don't believe you. I really don't.
I'm
I'll
dead
tell you what
serious.
my story was. Mine was nothing exciting. They lived outside the house for 2 nights eating trash. And then, the family in the house sees them eating their garbage. You made me lose in bar. I was playing ball race and that like made me laugh. Yeah, the family looks outside and sees them living next to their trash cans, eating their garbage, and welcomes them into the family. That's it. That's the end.
No fucking sense. If I saw
Why did
that,
they eat garbage for 2 days?
Jim,
They
would
didn't
you,
want to get. They didn't want to get in the house.
Jim, would you accept some trash child to your home?
if I saw 2 kids eating trash outside my house,
They're homeless. They're homeless. You, of course you. No, these were good Samaritans. They see 2 little boys eating trash because they're clearly fucking homeless.
Oh damn!
dude, oh, dude, sorry, Justin.
I found my old. I have like grade school files on my computer. I found one about Helen Keller.
George and I in 4th grade for Black History Month, we had to do a biography on a black person. Or someone like African American, right? So George and I both chose Tiger Woods. And as you can imagine, the controversy happened 2 years later after that. So I went into my computer, found my Tiger Woods biography, and at the end of it I wrote, in like Thanksgiving of, was it 2009, Tiger Woods decided that he wanted to be a baller or something, like cheated on his wife, and I like ended it with "what a baller" and text.
You know, talking about how you got like sent to the office reminded me back in 6th grade. Our teacher, I won't say her name if Andres is recording, but
Yeah.
she essentially threw the ban hammer around a lot. Like one time, I forget. So I think Alvaro did something, and like she just said, "Go to the office," and then David decided to say, "Oh."
No, because someone got yelled at, right? And then Alvaro went, "Oh!" And she was like, "That's it, go to the office." And then David responds with, "Oh!" And she's like, "You too, you go to the office." And I for sure thought she was gonna send me to the office.
She looked at me
I
too
was
when
laughing so
I
hard.
was laughing so hard. I put my head down because I was afraid.
Bro, I'm a
Oh,
fucking
what the
idiot.
fuck?
It was so funny, dude.
Knowing me, I might have just wanted to pool with Alvaro in the office.
Bro, why? I'm looking at all my like fucking grade school documents. Why do I just have a document about Panera
No,
Bread?
come on. Why is that one
You,
delayed?
you wanna know something that was
Oh my
pretty
god,
crazy?
I found it in the book. I have like a summary of the giver. Okay.
There's a thing when like I know in 3rd grade, if you got caught picking your nose, the teacher should just inadvertently just go, like, for example, Jimmy, go wash your hands. Like out of the blue, if she saw you picking your nose, it would just be Jimmy, go wash your hands. So if someone got told to wash their hands, then you knew that they were picking their nose. One time Alex got caught, and like I remember seeing the look of like anger because Alex was like so sure that he wasn't picking his nose.
Or was that like he was and he just mad that the bitch caught him?
He thought he was hiding it.
Yeah.
Oh god.
So I wrote like this document. I'm like, in the book The Giver, the 12-year-olds were assigned jobs. And then I wrote, the elders would notice I use computers a lot and notice how good I am with them.
Elders.
They would see how good I was at working stage crew.
Oh my god,
I'm not gonna make it.
Oh, no,
I'm
no,
not
no,
gonna
no,
make
no,
it.
no,
Dude, Jonas in the book, he had like a wet dream essentially, because he's like
Oh,
that. He was
no.
that one female friend of his.
Yeah, he wanted to bathe her.
He was like getting the tub. He was like laughing at us, saying no.
Yeah, that's it. That's exactly what happened. They were like there, and she was butt ass naked. She was laughing at him. He's like, "Get in the tub. I just want to scrub your body." Why isn't Lois Lowry arrested?
I'm gonna continue this conversation. While taking a poop.
We're in San Francisco 3, right?
I just joined another ball race game, so.
Oh shit.
Which one?
Prism. I did Prism again. I didn't realize it was Prism.
Level 2?
Yeah, I think they're on level 2. Yeah.
Yeah. Why did I suck so much at writing in grade school? Damn.
Dude, the coolest assignment we had was in 6th grade where we got to write a short story. I made mine about a middle school detective. His name was Steve.
Wait a minute, do you guys remember the job posting we had to make? And I had to write one for a babysitter.
Wait, what?
No.
I heard Jap posting. I was gonna say, excuse me?
No. With the babysitter, like I had to write. I don't know. I wrote some really dumb shit. I don't remember, but I remember getting a D because like, it's like, oh, you can't like.
Exactly what you're talking about.
Dude, yeah, it was like
It was an
I
ad,
was
it
like-
was make like an ad for a babysitter. And I
yeah.
remember-
Okay,
Yes.
that was supposed to be.
Yes.
I got
So I
lost
remember it.
points. I wrote the phone number 8675309 and the babysitter's name was Jenny. I lost points because
George, are you in the bathroom?
yeah, dude,
Yeah.
taking a poop.
Why?
He said he was.
This is vital information, and I feel like I can't be left
I
out.
was gonna say, because I realized your mic quality changed. I hear the echo of the
Yeah,
bathroom.
no, I didn't
Yeah.
recognize your voice for a second. I was like, who the fuck is this?
Neither did I. My favorite was gave us an assignment for like
No, it's like there.
you can go
Fuck's
like
sake.
you have the ability to visit any time in your life, and like you choose whatever is you write what it is. People are choosing like their wedding day, or like people are choosing like when they have their kid, or like when they get their job, or go back to like their first birthday. Decides to be the overachiever that she is. She's like, it starts off ominous, and it's literally she visited her own fucking funeral. Like a true creative writing
With that-
student, she
with
like
that-
made sure like that she looked around and saw that everyone was wearing black, and she made sure in her writing that she did not look at the coffin. She didn't see her dead body. She went to the funeral
But
just
they
to
don't-
see who was there.
They don't really
Like I said,
show the
I mean,
body at
yeah.
the funeral. They show it at the wake before.
It was the well, yeah, the wake is what I'm referring to, I guess, because it wasn't the funeral, but she like didn't look for herself, and I was like, wow, what an overachiever.
But would that count though? Because if it's any moment in your life, would your funeral count? You're not
Yeah, no,
alive.
she's not. Yeah, she's not alive. Should have lost points for that.
You want to know an even funnier one? Frankie read his aloud, and he was part of the U.S. Navy SEALs, and he was on a mission to take out Taliban forces. He straight up wrote that, and I think he used Call of Duty speak in it, and actually like gave him a good grade on it.
Yeah.
Like, guys,
Dude, that reminds me of
that
Carlos,
story
like-
was so.
Carlos was gonna be a Navy SEAL. George,
wanna-
you yourself are gonna flush the bowl, bro.
I used it for comedic effect. I said his story was so, and then I flushed the toilet.
Dude, I remember, you know how we all got the 8th grade T-shirts, which we all got to sign our names on them.
Wait a second.
Carlos kept writing NS above his name because he was gonna be a Navy SEAL, and he fucked it up like 3 different times. And we had to redo it like 3 times because this idiot had to do Navy SEAL. I remember at one point, Gilbert looked at him and was like, dude, what the fuck are you writing? You're not gonna be a Navy SEAL. And Carlos got so offended. He's like, I'm gonna be a Navy SEAL. And what is he doing now? At NYU. So honestly, he turned out better than a Navy SEAL.
Yeah, real shit. He did better than a Navy SEAL.
Oh, there we go.
Hi everyone. Wow.
Oh my god, the fucking camera fucked me here.
Navy SEALs listen to this podcast.
I'm looking at all my fucking
Yeah.
To all the Navy SEAls listening to this podcast, just know that our friend at
Oh,
NYU
God.
ranks higher than you.
I'm just bad. This recording's just gonna be me being bad.
Dude, oh fuck, well I mean, if we're gonna podcast it, you don't even have to,
Oh yeah, true. I guess.
I wish Patrick was here. I
I
feel
mean,
like I'm
after
out.
podcast, you can just kind of be like to the backdrop.
I need
Yeah,
Patrick to
that'd
be
be
here. I'm
Okay.
outnumbered by
alright. Do you remember the 8th grade teacher volleyball games?
Yeah.
Alright, so when we were in 8th grade, remember Antonio? The dude that went to school 1, but didn't come to school 2 in the merge? You know how he would, so he would show up random days. He knew, because when the 2 different schools we merged, he didn't merge with that. He wasn't one of the kids that stayed with like the school and merged with us. I don't know where he ended up going, but since he was still really close with all the other kids, I think because his cousin was the gym teacher, he would
Wait,
show up a lot.
Cousin?
Mr.
Wait.
D was his cousin.
They were
thought that was
2
like a
different
nephew.
schools.
Yeah, they were cousins. So like, he would show up because there were days where he would just show up, and like there were days where he sat in on class and Ms. just let him. And the student teacher student 8th grade versus teacher volleyball game was one of those days that he like showed up, and then he wanted to play on our team, and so Alex gave him the 8th grade t-shirt. He puts it on and jumps in for us, and even plays serving. He serves for us, which is when all eyes are on him. We still won, man. It tanked after our year graduated. That I will admit to. It did tank.
My sister's still there. She's like, she's fine, it seems. I don't know. I didn't really notice a difference.
Everyone tells me it tanked.
But like, how?
I don't know. It's just I guess like
size.
well, it's the whole like it's
Our
not the
class size
same
is almost as big
anymore.
as ours. They have like 24 kids.
Well,
Yeah,
I mean,
ours has
school in general, like,
27, I think.
how
I guess
big
the
is
over something about quality. I don't know. People always tell me.
Yeah.
Well, then again, when my sister was like doing her student teaching shit there, she went to for a few days, and like the teachers all complained about how like the school wasn't what it used to be. I guess that's more of like a infrastructure level. You know what I mean?
Maybe they're just getting old.
I mean that too.
I am bad.
Then again, Miss isn't that old. She's what, like 40 now? Maybe.
Mr. Definitely still MILF age.
Oh,
Yeah,
she's
so
divorced.
yeah, she's divorced, dude. She's divorced. I'm gonna have to cut that. I'm gonna have to cut that from, or at least cut her name, so I don't air her dirty laundry. But yeah, she's divorced, dude. She's divorced.
Aw, that sucks.
So
Yeah.
this
I ever tell you about the Miss sex tape? Oh, one day I was fucking with.
That's a.
One day I was fucking with George, and I made a joke about Miss having a sex tape. And I would constantly bring it up, and it would freak George out. It's the idea, like the camera turns on, and it's just Miss naked in front of a camera, eating a cheeseburger.
Okay, I remember this.
Then there was the other
cheeseburger.
sex tape where it was Miss naked dancing. Like Miss takes a cigarette and like puts it out on her tit, and then Miss bends over to show off her ass and farts, and then like they all turn around and go, "Damn it, Maria!"
What goes on in your head, it's fucking disgusting. I just want to know that.
I like how even
It was-
back then you were talking about preps.
Yeah.
Dude, I firmly blame the beginning of my like fucked up thoughts for Alejandro. No doubt about it.
I found out what dick meant in 1st grade because of that kid.
I knew what titties meant in the 4th grade because of that kid. I'll just send me this. I'll do the
Aw.
editing. I'll do a lot of censoring of these games.
Okay.
you guys should have just gone
Like-
to the fire.
I don't know why, but like we had like it was some exercise and the word dick was on it, and I thought like, oh, like Moby Dick. And then Alejandro looked at me and goes, no, it means this, and he points at his actual penis, and I'm like,
Dude,
oh.
that reminds me of Andres pointing at his penis. I'll tell you why he did that. We were sitting at lunch one
I
day.
do not remember this time.
Shut up. Shut up. This shit
Tell
happened.
this story.
I was talking
every
to Allie.
time.
And I was telling her, humans don't lay eggs. And Andres goes, Jimmy, and like points to his balls because Andres referred to his nutsack or his like testicles as eggs. Because you know, if you're a kid and you feel your nutsack, they feel like feel your nutsack right now and tell me they don't feel like
You
an
know,
egg.
they feel like eggs, yeah.
I mean,
So
alright.
Andres, you know, as a child mind, it's like, yeah, these are my eggs. So Andres pointed to his nutsack. I was like, dude, I hate to break it to you, those are not eggs.
I'm bad.
Are there not eggs? What?
Fuck.
So, revelation, Jim. I've thought this for the last 18 years.
How do we phase through, fellas?
Someone's
another
got
button.
it.
Oh, is there
Someone's
another
got. I
button that
died.
nobody went? Oh.
Yeah, there's another button. That one. I didn't go for it. I died.
Oh, did I miss the button?
Oh man, the Obama cutout's gonna win.
Fucking bitch.
No, wait, I didn't. If you got pressed.
Oh, never mind. He sucks. He's trash. All right, who's the new front runner? Oh, it's the anime girl. Yeah,
What
dude.
this fucking
My favorite rumor that the guys in our class started was that Jorge, the janitor, was fucking the lunch lady who had a son there. Like the lady with like the big nose. She was kind of they called her Numi or something. What's Spanish for cloud? I don't know. Because they said her ass was like a cloud. That's what Gilbert and Company called her because her ass was like a cloud.
Yeah,
And the theory was that
Nube is cloud.
her and Jorge always used to like talk and laugh a lot, and the theory was that Jorge was banging her. Mind you, we were in 8th grade thinking this shit up, but then there was also Coach whatever was his last name, I think.
oh
fourth
Now we
grade.
find it.
He got fired because we said he was helping the girls batting practice, and not.
That's
And
not
he was,
why you got fired.
dude, I don't know, because my sister's class was 8th grade that year, and she was telling me that their class was also saying a lot of shit, and their class was taking credit for him being fired. So take that as you will.
Wait, why'd you get fired? Why'd he get fired?
I don't know,
Made a
but like
perv.
we
Was
thought all the boys in our class were convinced he
Maybe
was
you guys should've
curving on the
given
girls.
Fucking girls, fucking.
Dude, all our
Remember
I
they'd
feel
always
like
give
all
him-
our coaches
They
were
always give
either
him
had
preference.
weird names
Yeah, they
or
did.
were just weird people.
Nah,
Like,
dude, Coach was great because
Coach, the army man, he was dope. They didn't let him substitute anymore though, because instead of actually doing the work that he was supposed to give us, he gave us extra recess and let us write letters to soldiers.
Wait, did Patrick ever tell you
What a
about the substitute teacher that accidentally showed us porn?
What?
Yeah, she was like, had us do some assignment.
Patrick's online. Someone tell him to get in this podcast episode.
He's taking a poop.
He's
She
been
had-
taking
All
a
the more reason. All
Dude,
the
he's
more
been
reason
taking
for
a
him
poop.
to-
I joined when I was taking a poop.
I was gonna say
Yeah, but
Patrick,
you're
because I logged on. And he was taking that poop. I'm pretty sure he's done with that poop.
She had us like Google something for some assignment.
Fucking
and
really?
I think it was like about love or something, and like someone ended up finding porn. She was like, no,
Ah, no.
No.
you gotta use safe search.
Yeah, you
There
guys
was a
remember
time
the times
down, I
before
thought-
Safe Search, and we Googled rainbow, and one of the first things that come up was a picture of a girl's vagina.
I remember that. I remember that very fondly.
I just remember in my own house, I looked up Pokemon and I saw like a GIF of Ash licking Misty's titty, and it ruined Pokemon for my sister for a very long time.
For your
She couldn't
sister.
look at Misty the same way. And whenever she saw Misty, she get fucked, David. She would just like see the image of Ash just licking her titty. So
Dude, I remember like what's it called? There's like when I was really into the image that said nuke the whales. Like if you press like view full image,
talk about.
it would take you to a site that loads up an image of this fat hairy guy bent over showing his asshole with 2 middle fingers, and it says hey douchebag. I was like, what? So then what's it called? Oh, what the hell? Oh, I'm supposed to go up through there. So I remember I just started telling people to go look up nuke the whales and watch them click the link and be like, what the hell?
Dude, whatever the newer computer teacher lady was, like
Oh, yeah, you gotta blur these names.
yeah, so she was a really nice woman. I would just the guys in our class fucking made her do the spooky car, fucking
Oh really?
jump scare. Well, it was actually not the original spooky car. It was the world's fastest rapper, which is a real video. Like you play it.
yeah,
But there's the edited one where the sound is purposely on like super low.
So yeah, so
and-
you raise the volume a lot.
So you raise the volume, and then as soon as he starts the rapping, the spooky car jump scare gets cut into it, and it loops. So it's not just the one scream; it's like 4 of them at like max volume. And in computer class, they had her check out the world's fastest rapper. She's watching, and sure enough, she gets like the jump scare. And she like goes ah. So much so that when George and I were showing her a David Copperfield video, she thought it was a jump scare. And like we had to do a solid 5 minutes of like convincing her that it was just a magic trick and not like a fucking jump scare.
Mr. was his sister taught at our school.
Oh, you mean the lacrosse man?
Yeah, his sister.
Dude, man. Okay, fun fact about Mr. He ran this lacrosse Twitter page, and that was the only high school page that followed the high school video game club Twitter page. And he would always like meet me in the hallway and said, "How's the video game club doing? We win another match. I saw that tweet. We out here winning." I was like, you know what? This is the kind of motivation I could use, bro. Like,
Dude,
That's
I
so cool.
was cool.
Like I never had a class with him.
George, a year ago today was the bodybuilding competition.
Yeah, I saw that on my memories.
The bodybuilding competition.
Me and Jimmy worked that
George and I worked the
bodybuilding
bodybuilding competition. That was it's no weights. It's just dudes on stage flexing.
Yup.
Oh, and chicks too. I forgot.
Like Nick Daddario.
Yeah,
Nick
like Nick
Daddario.
Daddario, yeah.
Was he
God.
there?
No.
I
There
was
was-
about to pop off.
Dude, I have a photo because I took a picture backstage. So I was taking pictures of the trophies, and there's a dude in the background because he was flexing. He was getting ready to go on stage. Same exact color as the trophies. He's the same bronze color. It was the funniest thing ever. That was I'm kind of upset that because they said they'd come back a year later because we did such a good job for them. Like they said, we love this venue. We're gonna come back. And then like the lady running the joint was like, we knew who to hire. But now that we're kind of blacklisted there, I'm kind of upset.
You're
Are
blacklisted.
you blacklisted?
So they don't really we're replaceable. At first they wanted to keep us, but I think now they don't
You're
they don't want
blacklisted
us.
by association now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I'm like, the only reason I'm upset is because I didn't like working the actual like theater productions there, like building and like being like stage crew. That sucked. I liked working the gigs because it's more than a performing arts space. They rent it out for like dance recitals, comedy shows, and all that shit.
Yeah, you get
And
variety that
bodybuilding.
way.
Bodybuilding competitions, and those were fun because the majority of the time I was either on the light board, which was just you go through like 3 or 4 like different scenes, and it's like some lighting design here, like this is a little bit of blue, this is a little bit of red, and you just change it like in between the shows because most of the shows that were there weren't like oh I need this light here, this light here now, and if they were, they'd bring their own lighting designer for that. So it was never hard for me. And if I wasn't doing lights, or if the lighting was a little bit complicated and Zach would do it, I would be on stage as the deckhand, just ready to give them the mic, or if they needed anything, I'd get it to them. That's why for the bodybuilding competition, Zach did lights, George did sound, and Zach was like, Jimmy, I'm gonna need you to be backstage with all these greased up, sweaty tan dudes. I was like, awesome, let's do it. And the smell was awful. One, it smelled like spray tans because they set up a spray tan station in the in the theater. Like backstage, there was a spray tan section because you can't do these bodybuilding competitions without a spray tan. So like, and it was right by my. Like,
I don't really get. Like,
No, no, it's part of
oil or something to make you look shinier. I don't understand.
Well, it's
they
it's a
like
whole
to look
thing
like
of like
bacon.
showing off contours and being able to show more definition because you're reflective and all that.
right. So like,
It's just to
And
make the
then-
muscles pop more.
and because the worst thing too is when they go on stage, man, they're flexing hard. Like they got like so veins are
Gotta show
fucking
off, my
pulsing.
dude.
I tell you, when one dude came off the stage after doing his massive flexing, the awkwardness was that he was walking off stage and you could see that underneath his feet were wet footprints. It was like my dude came out of the shower. I was so grossed out.
Damn,
I
I
was
was a little
so
too accurate with
grossed
my thing.
out.
I fucking hit the
All in
hole,
one,
popped off it.
baby.
And then the thing too was that also the women were there. And the women for these bodybuilders, so the men are wearing fucking Speedos, so their cocks are out, basically. And the women are wearing, like, it's bikinis, and the bikinis go up their crack. So, like, I'm sitting here backstage because this is my job. I have to sit back, make sure they need anything, or if anything goes wrong, I'm there on stage, ready to go. So, I was sitting there back there, and all the ladies were, like, backstage. They're all, like, all these buffed, and it's, like, it's not what you think is like, oh yeah, I'm with all these like women and
No,
and,
yeah,
like,
no,
you know,
I get
dogs.
that.
They're it's not my cup of tea. So and
They
they're
are.
of course they all smell like spray tan.
They
I'm
are
just sitting there
very,
like, oh my god, you bacon ladies, because that's what they look like. They look like bacon.
lady.
So
Oh.
I'm sitting there back there, and like some of them are giving me the weird look, like what is this like? Because thankfully I had my stubble there, so I didn't look too much like a baby
What is
last
this
year.
scrawny man?
But yeah, it's like, what is
What is
this
scrawny
little
man doing here?
Yeah, exactly, because I'm skin and bones. So like, they're like, what is this little scrawny boy doing? They're all like giving me like this weird side eye, and one of like the head ladies, like is like backstage going, okay, ladies, and she looks at me, she's like, what are you doing back here? Like I'm like fucking some kind of intruder. I'm like, excuse me? She's like, what are you doing back here? How'd you get back here? So much so, before I could even say anything, one of the dudes, one of like the head dudes there, that was a bodybuilder in his heyday, so now he's not as like yoked, walks by and goes, what are you doing? He works here. He works for us. What are you yelling at him for? Get out of here. And she was like, okay, fine. And she got up and left, and the dude went, bitch is crazy. And I was like, thanks, bro. Like, thanks for holding it down.
That's funny as fuck. Bitch is crazy, dude.
Dude, okay,
I'm
so
sure
with that
she might have
fucking
thought
place,
you were like some random fan
Yeah,
who had,
that's
like, a
definitely
muscle
what she
fetish or
thought. But
something.
like, I mean, like, we don't wear a uniform. We don't wear a name tag.
Yeah, that's understandable.
Because like, especially us, because we're not like, we don't work for the like the performing arts center. We're freelance. They hire us to run backstage. So like, I don't have like a uniform or a name tag to give them. I'm say, hey, I'm the guy on the clock today. That was 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. right? Or 8
No, it was
a.m.
like
to 8 p.m.
It was like 8 a.m. to like 5.
Dude, that was at 10. Oh, it was 10 hours. It was 10
like
hours. I thought it was
6.
12.
It was like 8 to 6 or something stupid like that.
It was like a 10-hour day.
But what was fun?
I made bank on that.
What was fun about that day was that all I had to do for like sound-wise, I just had to set up 2 wireless handhelds, just for like the judges and I guess and the host or whatever. And then I had a laptop with me, and this woman, she gave me like a combination of CDs and a flash drive, because one, they just wanted like background music to play during like the free forms of just people lining up and posing and whatnot. And then they had like routines where like guys would send in their music.
Flex to their music of choice.
Yeah. So like the original setup is just like they'll come out in groups of 5 and do like certain poses. So I just play the random music that she gave me. And then like the other ones were like when there was singles, like it would be like introducing now, insert name here, and then I have to play their music and they'd come out, some of them like flex to the beat of the music. Like I was waiting for a Flash Gordon to come out and I was so upset when it didn't.
Flash. Dun, dun. Okay, wait. So that reminds me, because one of the dudes backstage, because they all gave you your music. This guy forgot to give in his like custom music, so he walks up to me and he's like the next guy on. And he goes, "Oh yeah, can you tell the sound guy to play this song for me off my phone?" I'm like, "Excuse me," and he gives me his phone, and it was something by like off the Black Panther soundtrack. So he gives me his phone and he's like, "Yeah, just get it to sound guy." I'm like, "Dude, the sound guy's all the way up in the audience." And I was like, "Okay, cool. I'll just run through backstage and I'll run up to George and give it to him, because I could just go through the audience. I wouldn't jump off stage, but I would go backstage. I would get into the lobby and then go to the main doors of the house and then run up to George." Well, I couldn't do that because they set up the tanning station right in front of my only exit. So, and these women were getting tanned at this point. I run through and they stop me and say, "What are you doing?" I was like, "I gotta play this guy's music." They say, "We're tanning people here. Give them some privacy." I'm sitting there like, "Oh my fucking god, you're kidding me." So I'm waiting for this like bitch to get tanned, and I'm like, "Can this go any slower?" And they said no. I'm like, "What?" So I'm like freaking out because like this dude's not gonna have his music. So I run. I say fuck it. I open the elevator. I'm like, I'm gonna take the elevator. I take the elevator up. I run to George. I say, "Here's the song. Plug in his aux. Just go. Just go." We had in time for the dude to walk on stage.
So
that was the hardest part of the entire day for me. Was that dude getting his music to play? Because the rest of the time, I sat backstage and did nothing. I replaced the batteries on the mic just once, and that's all I did. I just watched these sweaty ass dudes backstage.
What's funny about the singles is that some of the songs are just kind of stupid, but they're like flexing to the beats of the music. Like some guy had like a loud band, like horns and whatnot, and every time the horn blared, he'd flex. It's fucking ridiculous. But what was funny was that during the group ones, it was like a bunch of dudes came out, and like it was like the yoked category, and like, "Oh no way, oh dude, I'm the cum lord." Oh,
George, I think I'm a cum lord too. I think I got a hole in one.
So
let's go.
Dodged it by just a tiny smidge.
So this guy, like, I'm the sound guy. So like one of the judges just shouts out, looks back and shouts, "Yo DJ, can we get some flexing music?" And I'm like, I'm skimming through the playlist. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck flexing music is. So I found Boom Boom Pow. So I played it, and I flicked it up and made it like full volume in the house, and the whole place starts shaking of Boom Boom Pow. And one guy goes, "Yeah!" And like they all start flexing, and all of them they're fucking going insane, doing 500 different poses at once. The entire fucking audience goes nuts.
They eat it up.
They go fucking nuts.
What kind of crowd is it?
It's all the family and friends of the athletes.
But it's like so
and maybe
weird.
some dudes that are really into like the professional sport
like
of bodybuilding.
When the chicks came out, I guess like their husbands or something got
the
involved.
worst. It's creepy.
It was just like one guy just started screaming, "Yeah, stretch that back, flat out that back,
arch that," because that's one of the things they do. They arch the back when they turn around. Just weird. One of the women in there was like 50 something, and I was just listening to her talk about her diet backstage to all the other girls because they like looked up to her as like a matriarch, which was cool because like you got to hear like how like these women are like eating and like what they're doing. The worst was when it was the Grand Masters division, which was all men 60 and up. We're just chilling backstage, and for whatever reason, they all got backstage really early, so they were waiting a good 30 minutes with me backstage. I'm just listening to these guys like talk about their regiment. One dude was like oiling himself, and he looked at me while he was oiling, and I was sitting there going, "Oh my god, please don't ask me to oil you, sir, because I'm gonna have to decline." I was thankfully he got one of the other dudes to do it, and then one of the other older guys, he was like, "Man, no, you gotta flex a little bit more, my guy," and he grabs his speedo and scrunches it up more so that his cock is out a little bit. He goes, "Yeah, that's what you gotta do, brother. That's what you gotta do." And the old guy, like the dude, like some Europeans, they barely spoke English. Like, "Oh yes, thank you." I'm like, "What the fuck am I
Damn, this
doing here?"
sounds so much more interesting than little girls.
I'm sorry, what?
Oh, you're
Yeah,
talking
sorry,
about
just
dance recital?
Dance competitions.
I was gonna say, what the fuck are you
Or
talking
not
about?
competitions, recitals. You know what I mean.
Yeah.
Dance
There was-
recitals are the worst. The moms.
Yeah, see, that's the one thing. We never really worked at the dance recitals when we were there. Because we were supposed to, but that was when we chose Zach. We did work some kind of dance thing, right? Didn't we do that one dance benefit, George?
Oh, you're talking about the one that was like for the city.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Literally
we did
the only
that.
things I worked during the summer were dance recital and then like a bunch of old guys singing.
See, for me, we worked. There was also the
Oh, the bubble show.
The bubble show. Oh my god, the bubble show. You know how like there's always those like really like bubble shows of the guys that do all the tricks and magic with the bubbles and shit.
Yeah.
Well, there was one at the
That
Performing
sounds
Arts
cool,
Center.
actually, though.
Yeah, so we got there early and we helped the dude set up, and he was telling us about how he traveled to Europe learning the art of bubbling. I was like, this can't be real. But like we helped him set up and whatnot. We got to see his whole setup and shit. And it was like cool when you think about it, like all these cool like bubble things. And then I was working lights for that one, so I put the lights up. And, I got to watch. I had good spot, free ticket to the Bubble Mania. You know, Jeff Boyer's Bubble Experience or something. That's
Are
what
you
it was
kidding
called.
me?
Bubble Trouble, I think is what it was. How original. And
Which way do I
so
want to go?
show itself was kind of underwhelming because you realize you're sitting there watching some dude blow bubbles for a good hour. And some of them it's cool because he makes like the big ones that go like across and all that. The best part
Yeah.
was that at the end when we were helping him clean up, he let us play like with every single one of his toys.
With his
Yeah.
toys, bro.
Who put on the bodybuilding show?
Oh my god, what were their names? I can't tell you.
I don't even have the bag anymore, do I?
I don't know if I have the.
I gave one of them to my cousin and I told him to use it and get big, and he never fucking used it.
Yeah, that's right. Because as a thank you to us working for them, they gave us goodie bags with it was a clinch sack with their brand on it, a shaker cup, and like various different forms of like pre-workout, whey protein, anabolics, whatever the fuck they are.
The pre-workout's bullshit.
You
You
know,
never like look into it. It's like actual bullshit.
I like when they just tip money.
Oh, see, I never got tipped outside of the this one like it wasn't a dance recital, it was like a music recital. So it was a dude that taught kids like the kids would sing. The majority of the time it was them singing, but like, some of them would play the piano and play instruments. He tipped every single one of us. It was me and like two other people that worked it. He tipped us each $50. I was like, nice.
All the ones that like tipped us, they were like, they
I never got tipped when I was working out.
yeah, like I had the barber shop, like the old singers. They tipped like they gave us like $30 for like a day. I was like, damn. The other company only gave us like 40, but that was like for a week.
Well, see, then again, that's right. You have all the rehearsals. For me, whatever gig I worked, they had a rehearsal. It was an hour before showtime.
Mm.
One of the shittier ones that I worked was a comedy night for Anthony. I'm gonna roast this guy. I won't even fucking censor this one. Anthony Rodia comedy.
Oh,
dude's
that
biggest-
fucker.
You know who this guy is. His biggest fucking shtick is this like Uncle Vinny character. He's like an Italian guy. So imagine the most obnoxious. I say this as an Italian. Imagine the most obnoxious Italian guy that thinks he's funny because he's Italian. He has this character called Uncle Vinny, which is a stereotypical Italian uncle, and all that because he plays the character. You know the Snapchat filter where your face is smushed so it makes you have big giant lips and big eyes?
Uh-huh.
He uses that as Uncle Vinny. That's the Uncle Vinny character.
Does he do it in real life?
So no, at the show he made a big deal. Like he played a recording of Uncle Vinny saying, "Anthony, good luck on your show." And he's like, "Yeah, because I'm gonna do it without Uncle Vinny. Fuck him. We're gonna do it without him, guys. We're gonna do it without him." Like, cool. Like that's great.
Fucking kidding me.
So we worked his comedy gig, which really wasn't fun. It wasn't funny, and like they had a host, they had 2 openers, one of which was a girl. Which I'm not gonna make one of my, I'm not gonna say girls aren't funny, but her entire shtick was,
The fact that she's
isn't
a
it
girl.
weird being an Italian girl? Like, this is what Italian girls do, right, ladies? And I'm like,
Oh no, I remember one shitty joke she had. She was like, I got my husband to be a vegan. That way he's too weak to cheat on me.
No,
Right?
Anthony, that guy.
if you have to constantly ask your,
What?
if you have to constantly ask the crowd, be like,
For
right, or like
validation,
ask
yeah.
for the people, like, ladies, you know what I'm talking about, right? If you have to
No.
constantly do that, then yeah, you're not funny.
That
I
guy
hate to
is
break it
only
to you.
funny to like Italian boomer moms.
Yes, completely actually.
Oh god.
Like
damn
I was
it.
seeing, and like my thing with that is that all those comedians, all of them, every single one of them,
What the fuck?
the opener, okay, so there's the host, the 2
Are you
openers,
kidding?
and him. If they weren't getting people to laugh, their shtick was to oh, I think I missed. Oh no, I got it. Nice.
Oh, what the
Their
hell?
shtick was, if people aren't laughing, oh, I fell right off. If people weren't laughing,
Please.
oh, I'm gonna fall off again. If they weren't laughing, go immediately to a sex joke.
Dude, fucking.
Sex is funny.
Dude, I found it. I went to a George Lopez show once.
That was your
And
first mistake.
Not gonna lie, the dude that opened for him was better than him.
I'm
That's
pretty
about
sure
right.
Wet Art is better than George Lopez.
Well, I mean, like when I saw Bo Burnham
Lopez
for his
show
Netflix
was
special, he had some dude from like Comedy Central open for him, and the dude's entire like sketch was just him talking about this movie he saw called Wolf Cop, which the highlight of the movie for him was that he's like, yeah, you know when you watch these like men turning into werewolves, they never show like they get to see like the arms get hairy, the face turn to wolf, like the feet turn into paws. You never get to see their cock. Well, this movie Wolf Cop I saw, it actually shows this dude's cock turning into a wolf cock. And the whole 30-minute opener is literally this dude talking about a wolf cock.
That's good for a one-off.
No, it wasn't.
But,
It was
like-
terrible. I hated every moment of it. It was awful.
That's one of
Bo
those things where
Burnham
like,
was
you
great,
kill the
though.
joke
That
for
dude was
too
hilarious.
long.
A fucking RA sent out an email like, "Stop clogging the toilets."
Alex, god damn it, we can't tell you.
I cannot hear you, Alex. Yeah.
Justin, why do you still have an RA?
Cause I still live in a dorm.
Because Justin's a cock bitch that lives in dorms as a senior.
Cause I live in Long Island and like,
Still a cuck. Alex is in Baltimore. What's your excuse?
I'm in Troy.
The excuse is that Alex lives in a shithole, so rent isn't that high. Justin lives in Long Island, so renting an apartment sucks dick.
Property
I live
value
in-
is
Yeah,
like
it does.
really low.
I live in suburban Long Island.
Justin,
So,
I just really wanted to roast you. I'm gonna be honest.
I mean,
so
if you
the
get
rent
roommates,
is really high, and like, if you don't have a car, it's like,
Impossible
very
to get
hard.
around. Yeah.
yeah,
fuck
it's
is
very
that
hard
shit?
to find a
Reliable public transport.
well, it's hard to find like a affordable apartment without that you don't need a car to get to.
I forgot how much I love this map.
Like, if housing prices were as good as they are in Binghamton, like that house they have
I don't even
is
notice it.
so cheap.
Oh, I'll post up here.
George, I forgot you have that gross ass skin.
Oh yeah, but people keep clogging the toilet, but it's also because they fucking fixed one of the toilets and they gave it less suction. So now, like,
Can't give a toilet weak suction, man.
yeah, so now
Big
people
mistake.
are taking too big shits, and it's clogging the toilet. Like,
Yeah, this is the place to post up.
I wish the RA just sent out an email like, fellas, we're gonna need to start poop knifing.
Friggin-
Well, it's like how they don't like it when dudes, like, it's a common problem at, like, communal showers. Dudes keep coming in the showers and the drains keep getting up.
Nah,
Because, believe it or not, cum isn't, like, water soluble.
Dorm horror story time. What is the worst thing you have seen in the bathrooms?
Well,
Clogged
Oh,
toilet, that's
easily.
about
Once
it.
I looked
Easily
in the I walked in and I looked in the mirror.
So that
I'm
one's
funny,
coming
right,
a mile
guys?
away.
George, your skin is so fucking gross.
Yeah, yeah, cousin Larry is not a pleasant sight.
Horror stories with.
Dude, I got $2,500 for that
I think
one
the
game.
worst thing I saw was there in the bathroom one day. One of the toilets was just covered in blood. Like it looked like somebody got murdered in there.
Yeah, you sure it was a goer's bathroom?
No, it was the dude's bathroom. With the
I'm gonna
first
say
floor
that, that's
was
got girls'
the
bathroom written all over.
first floor was boys.
Oh, just get away from me!
Yeah, it's like those memes, boys' locker room.
And then the
Girls'
second
locker.
floor was the.
Got you, cousin Larry.
Yeah, I realized
Yeah.
that girls are apparently like really gross in the bathroom.
Well, literally.
I know,
first
yo,
room-
dude, that shit about like girls' bedrooms tend to be nastier than guys' bedrooms is like completely true.
Damn, bitch, you live like this?
Damn, bitch, you look
Well,
like
I know girls can be very messy. That I know. Fucking.
This guy fucks.
Well, no, it's not even. That's not even to the second. Just being in another girl's room, it's awful. Like I thought, dude, when I'm lazy, my room gets bad, but I clean it. How they live like that on a normal function is just God. Fucking bothers me. Like, I like to have floor space, you know. When shit's all over the floor, it freaks me out.
But yeah, I don't know who's been shitting in the toilet.
Dude, it can't be me. I'm here cutting mine own up.
It's maybe it's the one fob living up here.
Dude, I had another forearm shit yesterday, and I questioned what I was eating that
Forearm
made it do that.
That's one way to describe it. I've never heard of that.
What is forearm shit?
It's a shit that's a log the size of a forearm.
Oh.
I don't
That
know.
just means your asshole can take it, bro. That's all I'm saying.
Nah,
Think about pooping in reverse. Just anal.
no.
Your asshole can take it, bro. If your asshole can push out thick logs like that, then it could definitely take thick logs.
I don't want that though.
Why not?
George, come back. Why are you out all the way out
Your
there?
body telling you it's ready. Alright,
Another baby girl.
Staring at me.
you could probably kill your recording here, Andres. I think we got like an hour worth
Oh yeah, true
podcast
enough.
material if we wanted to.
Alright.
I
Just
think,
remind me if I'm playing, if we're gonna record podcast style, I can't be playing a game because I won't be able to focus.
I mean, we were able to do good with
Ball race?
Ball race, yeah.
Boris, because like it's not. You don't need communication.
Who is your podcast
I mean, do
for?
we-
Yourselves?
do we-
Like,
Yeah.